Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Playing World of Tanks. I'm AJ, and today we'll be looking at a game that I had in my VZ 11114, which is the Chinese Tier 9 heavy tank. Now, I love this tank quite a fair bit. It has its own little small fan club in our clan as well, I think this is another one of those tanks that is greatly underappreciated, and not really a lot of people know what it's actually capable of. And most people have seen about this tank is probably the VZ 111, which is the premium Chinese tank, and I think this tank is one of the best tanks at Tier 9. Obviously, T54 is probably the best because it has the best combination of armor, mobility, and firepower. This tank is not that far behind, and today hopefully I'll show you why. On this map especially, what I like to do is I like to go into the middle, and because the middle is a natural choke point for this map. If you control the middle, you probably control about I would say 30% of the map, just because anybody who's coming in and out of any of the bases will have to go through this position to get shots on anything. So when I play from especially the south, I like to get into this position, and the only counter to this position is if somebody moves north where that T54 is, and starts contesting this position. But that can be sort of countered if you have a team that's smart enough to move north and do that as well. Now over here, I take aim at the tortoise's weak spot. I should have just shot him anywhere, to be really honest. He doesn't have that much armor on most of his tank, but I was firing up and it would have been a tough shot to make. So in this map, this could have gone horribly wrong. Our team doesn't contest actually the northern part of this map at all. Oh, sorry, the eastern part of this map at all. And that could have come to sort of bite me pretty hard. But unfortunately for this T54, he didn't really get as much support as he thought he would. And after missing 3 or 4 shots on him, I finally managed to connect with one. So the 8015 now is in front. I aim at his gun mantlet and just go straight through it. The 8015 doesn't really have armor anywhere. If he's facing me directly, I should be able to pin him. And at this point, I'm aiming for his weak spot. I should have actually aimed slightly lower so as to maybe get his tank full on. So now the 8015 gets smarter and starts penning my lower plate, and I at this point realize that if I go any further back, I will be sort of juicy target for the tortoise. So I load gold and I have to get rid of this 8015 as quickly as I can, because I can't afford to lose health in this position, just because I'm the only tank here, and you get whirled down if enough people try to get you out of this position. So that's one 8015 down, and I'm just staying here, trying to light the tortoise, and hopefully somebody has good shots on him. And once he gets taken out, so that's one of the last defenders that I know of in the middle, and who are actually actively contesting this part. So I managed to bounce the T30's shot somehow, and at this point I make 2 very bad mistakes. First is I underestimate the gun reload time of the T30. I know it's 17 seconds, and in my mind I was counting 17 seconds, but by the time I get here, I kind of realize he was reloaded, but I was already committed to doing what I was trying to do. The second thing is I have heat rounds loaded, and what they do is they get eaten by the side of the T30. Now, honestly, the T30 should have had me dead to rights here. I should have been dead at this point. But combination of a fire and not having premium fire extinguisher meant that the T30 takes one final shot from me, and I do about 700 damage to him, and he dies in that spot. So the VZ132 gets unlucky. He either rushes his shot or doesn't aim it completely, either or, or he did not know what the armor layout of the VZ is, and unfortunately that's gonna cost him a repair as well. Now, the only tanks that are visible on the map are basically within the enemy's base. So what we are going to do is we're going to actually go to the enemy's base and take out the rest of the tanks. And that is really straightforward. There's a excuse me, there's a T-28 prot sitting there. I shoot him in his cheeks, and unfortunately I show a little bit too much side to my to the T-43 who was up there, who manages to take me out. But that will be all the action that's left in this game from this point onward. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like and subscribe. I hope I've convinced some of you to buy this tank. This is probably the most competitive tank at tier 9, apart from the E75. Just because it has good armor layout, it's extremely fast, and you know, the gun packs a punch. So you trade really well with some of the other tier 10 tanks. For example, you can shoot the T125 for 490, and he can only shoot you back for 400. So it's an amazing tank. Just for that, I would recommend going up the Chinese heavy line. So hopefully, you know, some of you get this wonderful tank, you know, and we have a bit of more fan club for this, for the Chinese machines. And I'll see you on the next episode of Playing World of Tanks.